And Garmagat ministers. Minister, there are aspects to this budget that I do welcome, and Minister Collins has just outlined some of those in regard to apprenticeships and to other things in further education. I mean, the litmus test for the apprenticeships will be if we clear the backlog. And we will be monitoring that very closely to ensure we did. But Minister, I would say that this is the second budget, and it's the second time that we've utterly failed to address the chronic underfunding of higher education. This is one, if not the key issue most of us thought that the department was established for in the first place. In the words of the Irish Universities Association, there's no extra investment in teaching or research activities in budget 2022. And you say about it being the highest investment ever, but what you don't say is we've also have the highest number of students that we ever had. So we have to stop this, comparing and giving people the impression that everything is okay and that we're really substantially addressing things. The budget is a standstill budget for the third level sector. Higher education has been kept in the austerity mode, and there's no extra investment for the things I outlined. But I ask you again, Minister, we need to publish the Cassel's report. We absolutely have to, and we have to have the funding allocated with that to ensure the future of the third level sector. It is on your desk, you need to publish it. I welcome the increases in SUSI, they're long overdue, as you said, 10 years. It's absolutely shameful that we've had to wait 10 years. Am I still okay for time, Laska Herlock? Right. There has been no increase for 10 years. I'm really alarmed today, Minister, when I rang SUSI to see, because I had lots of calls from students, but none of these are going to come into effect until next September. Is that right? So any of the students who are there in the real time now, suffering what they're suffering financially, aren't going to benefit from anything announced for SUSI in the budget yesterday. Is that right? Maybe you'll comment on that afterwards. I would really hope that there would be something there now, because students are struggling right here and right now. And you saw the queue for the food banks yourself, and students. We live in a republic. We live in 2021. Having students queuing for food banks that runs out after an hour is absolutely atrocious. I want to know when the reform of SUSI is going to be published, because I think you know that there are things within that absolutely need to be addressed. I mean, to have a 30 or 40-year-old with children of their own being judged and being excluded from SUSI because of what their parents' pension might be is absolutely atrocious, and that's just one of the things. But there was nothing done either for fees. We have the highest fees in the EU, and nobody will explain to me why we have. And the reason we have, I suppose, or one of the reasons, is because of the chronic underfunding, and because we constantly treat students and struggling families as cash cows to fill the gaps that are there because of that underfunding, and that absolutely has to stop, Minister. We see I do welcome the adjacent grant moves as well. I think that will make a big difference. But again, if that's not going to happen till next year, I'm really concerned about what happens in the coming year. Minister, when you announced the total on Monday, you announced the 17.2 million for the Student Assistance Fund. It was 16 million last year, so it doesn't represent a 10 million increase. It represents a 1.5 million. Again, I think you need to bring clarity to that. Thank you.